It rose from the black waves like a memory that shouldn't exist. Wings, part crow, part manta ray, spread wide enough to eclipse the lightning. Its feathers were laced with kelp and membranes torn like sails from sunken ships. Its eyes glowed abyssal blue, tracking the lone fishing boat bobbing in the churn. Not hunting, not curious, just remembering. Each beat of its wings pushed the ocean back, as if the sea wanted no part of it. Its beak was basalt, hooked and barnacled, jagged like a reef. And from its chest, coral plates cracked open, not to roar, but to release a sound like anchors dragging across the seafloor. The crew never screamed. They just watched until the storm swallowed them whole. Some say the Leviathan crow nests in drowned cities. Others say it's the storm itself. But one thing's certain, next time you hear thunder, look up. You might not be alone. It shimmered just beneath the surface, long, lean, and pulsing like a dying star. No fur, no scales, just translucent jelly, shaped like a wolf, with veins of bioluminescence threading its limbs like circuits. Its paws didn't touch the seabed. They floated, silent, deliberate, leaving no ripple behind. Trailing from its spine were tendrils, dozens of them. They moved like they were sniffing, tasting, thinking. We followed it into the trench. That was our mistake. Down there, the light vanished. But the wolf didn't. It glowed brighter, revealing bones inside its body, human, mostly. And its jaw, when it opened, it didn't howl. It clicked, like sonar. And every time it clicked, your thoughts didn't feel like your own anymore. We surfaced hours later, alone, but we still hear it in our heads. Click, click. The desert wind died the moment it arrived. A blur of gold and smoke, feathers braided with symbols no human language could translate. It didn't flap. It drifted, as if reality was lighter around it. The Semurg, not beast, not god, something else. Its wings stretched wide over the canyon, and everywhere its shadow touched, people forgot. Whole towns blinked. Names vanished from ledgers, graves unmarked. They say if you look at it too long, you'll forget your own voice. But I looked anyway, and I saw her, my mother, my dog, a dream I had when I was 4. It didn't speak. It sang, a low, layered hum like glass harmonicas underwater. When it left, it took nothing, but I knew I'd never be the same. The Simurg doesn't kill. It makes you remember what you've lost. They call it the Narluga, white as bone, smooth as ice, with a spiral tusk like a drill bit grown from the void. It breached beside our sub with no sound, no splash, just stillness. 2 black eyes stared through the reinforced glass like it had seen us before. Its skin shimmered like shifting snow, but not from the light. It shimmered with images. A polar base, a fire, a screaming crew. Scenes no one outside our research station could have known. The tusk tapped the glass once, then again, like Morse code. The computer translated it. Stop. Digging. Deeper. We cut the expedition short. The footage corrupted, and when we checked our memories, not all of them matched. Something followed us up. Something with a tusk. It crouched at the edge of the tree line, glowing just enough to be seen. Not understood. A lynx, but too tall. Its eyes hung from luminous stalks, twitching like bait on a line. Above its head floated a bobbing lure, flickering warm and pulsing blue. We thought it was injured. It wasn't. It watched as we approached. And when we were close enough to see our reflections in its glassy teeth, the lure went dark. A second later, the lights returned, but they weren't in the same place. We were deeper in the forest, further from camp, None of us remembered moving. The lynx was behind us now, lure still glowing, still waiting, still watching. It hovered, wings stretched like stained glass windows made of bone and shimmer. Its face was blank, too smooth, too human, too still. The thornback seraph. They say it appears at altitudes where planes fail, where signals don't reach, where angels shouldn't go. Its spine was ridged with venomous hooks, and its mouth didn't open. It peeled, and from within, it didn't speak. It hissed something wet, something divine. Passengers aboard Flight 31 said a woman began floating from her seat, smiling, weightless, whispering back. Then the plane descended, but she didn't. The black box recorded one final sound, a heartbeat, wings, and glass shattering from above. The rainforest was already silent. Too silent. No birds, no insects, just a long screech that didn't end until it did, and everything felt wrong. Then we saw it, a blur of feathers and mist, perched upside down in a tree too thin to hold it. Its beak was long, unclean, its wings twitched with rot. The wraith macaw, it mimicked voices, our voices, calling out names from our group that were never spoken aloud. We scattered, but it followed. One by one, we heard someone whispering from behind our backs. It always sounded like someone we trusted. When I finally turned around, I saw its real form. It didn't fly. It climbed, claws first, and its beak was already red. We found the cage buried in the cliffside. Rusted, ancient, still locked, but the bones inside didn't match. Too many limbs, too many ribs, something had lived there. Something massive. Then we heard the growl, and the trees cracked open. A viper's head, an ape's torso, legs like a lizard dragged from the center of the earth. Its breath smelled like sulfur. It walked like it had broken its own skeleton and reassembled it wrong. The chasm viper ape, half predator, half revenge. The cage had symbols carved on every inch. Not to trap it, to keep us out. But we'd already opened the path, and now it knows the way up. The fog never lifted. It just thickened until the headlights barely reached past the bonnet. We were lost. Then we saw it. Antlers, matted fur, eyes like mirrors fogged from the inside. An elk, we thought, until it screamed. Not a bellow, not a roar. A scream like a child falling off a cliff. It rang in our chests. Our noses bled. The wind turned backwards. And suddenly we were standing outside the car. But we didn't remember opening the doors. The elk was closer now. Its hooves hovered an inch above the gravel. It screamed again. And this time, we screamed too. The cocoon pulsed, not in a tree, in the sky, hanging from nothing. We watched it split open, slow, deliberate, and from it unfolded a creature with fur like frost and wings like moths doused in starlight. The bear moth. It blinked once, and every lantern in our camp exploded. It moved without motion, fading from one point to the next, like a dream forgetting itself. We tried to film it. The camera showed only static, but in the static, we saw our own faces. Years older, eyes closed, smiling. It never touched the ground. It just circled once. And when it left, we counted ourselves again.